This is WKYT This Morning.
Kentucky Morning Start on WKYT. We are sure glad you're with us today. I'm Bill Bryant.
We appreciate you starting your day with us. I'm Andrea Walker. The time now is 6:30. Let's get to it.
And now at 6:30, a growing trend of heroin overdoses now being seen right here in the Bluegrass this morning. We have some frightening details on a story that's been developing overnight. It's straight ahead.
Lexington police say the hunt continues for a suspect accused of injuring an officer overnight.
And this morning, a developing Lexington shopping center is going to be featuring another new restaurant, and we know something about it, and we'll have the details just ahead. We're going to get right to weather this morning, and first off, we want to we have razzed
I've got this.
Okay, do it.
We haven't wished him a happy birthday to you.
You got it. Thank you very much. Rob Pollock upstairs, our director, said you guys have belittled him. You have really just nailed
Ripped into
but
him.
you never have said happy birthday.
So happy birthday.
Here
We
you go.
didn't
I keep
make fun of
thanking you guys for nailing me on my birthday.
Well,
but thank you very much.
Yeah, I remembered it and called this morning into
That's
the
right.
newsroom because you told us a couple of weeks ago, and then you forgot it yourself.
I did.
We
forget
wouldn't make
myself
fun of you
this
if we
morning.
didn't love
Micah,
you.
the more there are, the more you'll forget them or want to forget them.
That's what I hear. That's what I hear.
Now do your job.
There you go. Now let's talk about weather, all right? Thank you very much, guys, and I mean it this time. Live sky camera, there's your look outside. It's a good start to the day. It really isn't looking all that bad. I will tell you this, it is humid. That is for sure. We're 74 degrees there in Lexington, 75 in Frankfort. I hate to date back, but date back 48 hours. Just 2 days ago, we were at 55 degrees in the morning. Felt amazing, but not so much anymore. 90 by the afternoon. That's not even the warmest temperature we have in our forecast. I'm going to show you that in your 7-day, in your weekend. We're going to talk all about that coming up.
And let's get right to the news this morning. A troubling trend is continuing, and this time it has hit home right here in Kentucky. Police in Mount Sterling are telling us this morning they are investigating 12 heroin overdoses that happened in just a matter of hours.
Today, leaders from several states, including Kentucky, will be meeting to talk about how to better deal with this problem. Michelle Chamberlain is at the alert desk with more. Michelle?
Andrea, this is definitely yesterday morning. We told you about 30 overdoses in Cincinnati, all happening in all taking place.
Okay, we'll have to take it here. These 12 overdoses, of course, are reported in just a short span in Cincinnati. Now, this was what went on there. Now, this is the Mount Sterling situation. They have posted a warning this morning about what they believe is a potent form of heroin. Again, the 12 overdoses that we've now seen in Montgomery County, this happening just in a few hours, a trend that we're seeing across the region. Leaders are looking for answers to try to combat this troubling epidemic. 9 states, including Kentucky, getting together today, the governors and other leaders in Cincinnati for this summit. The goal, coordinate efforts, try to figure out ways to battle this drug abuse epidemic.
New this morning, Lexington police say an officer was hurt during an overnight traffic stop. It turns out the driver may have been involved in an earlier robbery. WKYT's Caitlin Sittner joins us now live with details.
Good morning, Andrea. The search is on this morning for that driver who injured a Lexington police officer during a late night traffic stop. And now we know that that person that hit the police officer, injured the police officer, may also be involved in a late night robbery. Here's how police tell us it all went down. Police got a call late last night about a robbery on Center Parkway where they say 3 people forced their way into an apartment and pulled a gun on someone who owed them money. They left and no one was hurt. A couple of hours later, an officer pulled over a car on Limestone. Police say that car didn't have brake lights. The officer says he smelled drugs and noticed the driver was acting suspiciously, eventually opening the door. That's when police say the officer reached inside the car and the driver sped off. The car hit the officer's arm, injuring his elbow. We're told he is doing okay, but police are still looking for that driver. They say he was driving a gold Kia, and again, they do believe he was involved in the Center Parkway robbery. Live in Lexington, Caitlin Sittner, WKYT.
Caitlin, thank you. Also new this morning, deputies in Laurel County have arrested a third person in connection to a shooting that happened back in June. The sheriff's office says the 17-year-old from Lexington was arrested last night. Deputies say he and two others, 19-year-old Deontay Williams and a 16-year-old girl, are accused of shooting Trey Hendrick at a home on Taylor Bridge Road. Deputies say one of them shot Hendrick in the hip and stole his wallet. The 17-year-old is charged with attempted murder, robbery, theft, and tampering with physical evidence.
Police say a man claiming to be a minister to inmates at the Whitley County Jail now finds himself behind bars. Gary Smitty was supposed to be helping inmates, but instead of talking to them about religion, investigators caught him smuggling drugs and tobacco. They say Smitty smuggled tobacco, e-cigarettes, marijuana, and even meth. Police say he hid the items inside his guitar case, which he uses during the church service with the inmates.
Some people feel sorry for him, and they think that, oh, you know, we'll get the stuff into them. But they don't realize when they do that, they're crossing the line and they're committing a crime. You know, tobacco is one thing, but narcotics inside of a detention facility, you know, that kind of steps it up a little bit.
Police say after listening to recorded phone calls from inside the jail, they ended up charging 5 other people, including Smitty's son, who was already an inmate at that jail.
Well, cleanup is underway this morning across Indiana after multiple tornadoes touched down in several areas of the state yesterday.
Hundreds of buildings were destroyed while thousands lost power, but miraculously no one was killed. Mary Maloney has a closer look at the damage.
Houses.
The roof went off. I said to myself, if this is my last moment, make it, you know, don't make it very, very painful.
Cars.
I heard a lot of screaming, a lot of people running around, make sure people were okay.
A Starbucks flattened.
We busted the bathroom doors out. There were probably about 20 people between the men's and women's restroom, but nobody was hurt.
A cluster of storms swept through much of Indiana.
So this is kind of ground zero, it seems like. They just come right through here.
Forcing Governor Mike Pence off the campaign trail and people out of their homes.
It was just like a whole new world out here. And I shut the door and then it blew my window out. And then that was it. I just ran downstairs. I was just so scared.
How long did it take?
It was too fast. I don't know.
But the tornadoes couldn't stop people's will to survive.
I grabbed my dog and my disabled son who has autism and is legally blind, and we headed for the closet. And we just piled in the closet as quick as we could. It was really scary.
It will take a while to pick up the pieces and rebuild what was lost. Until then, those who saw the storms have new stories to share and perhaps a new respect for the weather.
It's unbelievable how much Mother Nature can just destroy a place.
I'm Mary Maloney reporting.
And more help from Kentucky is heading to Louisiana today. 16 students from Asbury College will head to Baton Rouge and volunteer to help with disaster relief from the historic flooding. At least 13 people died and thousands were forced from their homes in the flooding that happened 2 weeks ago. So far, more than $120 million in approved federal aid has gone to the state over the last 2 weeks. During his visit to the state Tuesday, President Obama said that funding will be used for temporary rental assistance, home repairs, and flood insurance.
It's coming up on 6:39 as you get ready to go here on your Thursday with us on WKYT. A college has shut down its Lexington campus suddenly, leaving students with many unanswered questions.
MedTech announced in an email to students that its campus on McGrathia Parkway off Newtown Pike will close immediately. Other MedTech campuses in Washington, D.C. area are also closing, and they did so in recent weeks after the Department of Education cut off access to federal loans and grants. MedTech told students the department's decision caused significant negative financial impact to all of the school's campuses, and thus they were left with no choice but to shut down their Lexington campus. Several students now face an uncertain future.
I was shocked. I mean, I've worked so hard to get to where I am with the school, and then to find out that it's all been for nothing, and they're showing no concern towards how it's affecting us.
If you had private loans, which many students that go to these types of colleges do, it's up to the loan servicer as to whether or not you can be forgiven, and that might be what is the gotcha for some of these students.
Now, if you have Now, if you have a federal direct loan, the Better Business Bureau says you may qualify for loan forgiveness. We have more information about loan forgiveness right now on WKYT.com. Spencerian College is offering a waive normal application fees to MedTech students, but they do not guarantee all credits will transfer.
You can just imagine the frustrations, certainly, right?
Yes.
Lots of questions. All right, here's some good news. A new restaurant is coming to Lexington, and it will be opening its first location right on the south end of town.
Crew Food and Wine Bar will open this coming spring at the Summit at Fritz Farms. The Summit is a $156 million development that is currently under construction at the intersection of Nicholasville Road and Man-O-War Boulevard. Other businesses coming to the Summit are Whole Foods, Blue Sushi, and a Shake Shack. The first phase of the Summit is scheduled to open in the spring. I think people are anxiously waiting to see this thing open up.
A lot of folks are eager for the new restaurants and so forth, and then interested in how the traffic's going to go.
Yes, that's the real question.
We'll see.
Now let's get a check to see how traffic is moving this morning. Here's Officer Don with live drive traffic.
Good morning, Don.
Good morning. Well, we're okay past that point there at Nicholasville and Man-O-War. In fact, it's a straight shot now, just one click of the light through the intersection. On the north side, there's a collision in North Broadway near I-75, just past the interstate. It's blocking the right lane, but still traffic's light enough through there where there's no reason to really avoid that area just yet. From Nicholasville, 12 minutes. From Paris, about 19. And a live look outside right now, courtesy of the Lexington Fayette Urban County Government. That is Harrodsburg and Corporate Drive. Now back to you.
A beautiful start to the morning and this time of day when the folks still have their headlights on, but that sunshine is coming. You can get the latest traffic and weather info anytime with the WKYT Weather Plus Traffic app. Download that for free in the app or Google Play stores, and you'll have the info right there with you. Hey, it's great to have you with us on WKYT this morning here on your Thursday.
More news is on the way. A Navy crew honors a nearly 100-year-old veteran with a special performance. A look at his priceless reaction when we return.
The storms and the front stay to the north of us for the next couple of days. That means warm and muggy air slide on in place. How high do we go with those numbers and those temperatures? I'll tell you this, it's going to be closing on 100 degrees for our heat index values. I'll have that coming up next.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
Look across the region isn't a bad look, but I will tell you this, it doesn't feel good outside. It is definitely warm and muggy out and about, and we're going to be feeling those temperatures as we continue to travel throughout your afternoon. And not just this afternoon, but I'll take you off into your weekend. Your dew points are skyrocketing now, and so that's not going to be a fun go at it early this morning as you're walking out the door. It's going to be muggy, it's going to be humid, that's the case throughout the next several days. I'll take you off into your weekend, but what does that mean when you're talking about any chances of rain? Well, the chances of rain are very slight. They're very small. It's more about the temperatures than anything else. 74 degrees right now in Lexington. We're 70 there, a trio of that from London to Somerset, Somerset back toward Danville, and also work your way into Bradfordsville. Kids going off to the bus stop, no issues whatsoever. It's more about the temperatures than anything else. It's just muggy, so I don't see any issues whatsoever. Let's talk about your hour-by-hour forecast with the temperatures. Let me take you through it. You get off into your Thursday later on this afternoon, you're talking about temperatures sitting there and right around 90 degrees. Friday morning, we're holding on to the 70s once again, and then we take you throughout your afternoon. In the afternoon, check this out. Yeah, here we go again. Back right around 90 degrees. So today, roughly 90 degrees. Tomorrow, same story. Saturday, let's talk about Saturday. Why not? Let's see what it shows up, and yeah, here we go again. Roughly 90 degrees. So some in the upper 80s, some in the lower 90s. I do expect some locations 92, 93 when it's all said and done. But for the most part, yeah, just add that moisture to it, and you're talking about temperatures right around 100 degrees. Not temperatures, but the way it feels outside, the feels like temperature, okay? So let's check this out. Check this tweet that was sent to me yesterday. Beautiful day here in Lincoln County. That was from @KYCandace. We appreciate that very much. That was on my Twitter. You can follow me. Grab your phone right now, Micah Harris WX. Send me some pictures. I always show them off in the morning hours. 7-day forecast, small chance of rain this afternoon. It's pretty much the same story as what we felt yesterday and what we saw yesterday. Most of us stay dry. Can't rule out a pop-up shower or thunderstorm. That takes you today through Friday. Friday, you're talking about high school football looking pretty good. I don't see any issues there, but as we've talked about before, Bill, you know, playing sports back in the day, a little football, People will need that pickle juice, man. You got to drink the pickle juice when you get cramps on the football field. You didn't know that, did you?
I've never heard of it.
Football players get cramps on the football field. A lot of places. I did it when I was young. But you drink pickle juice and it takes away those cramps.
That explains a lot.
A lot.
I'm just kidding.
Touche, my friend.
Just kidding.
Salt tablets we talked about all. Yeah.
It's going to be muggy, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's a different day now. All right, it is 6:48 now on WKYT this morning.
And this next story is just going to give you all the feels.
Right.
Whatever that means.
Whatever that means. Maybe the heebie-jeebies. I don't know. Dozens of Navy officers marched to the California home of a World War II veteran to give him a very special honor. So the story is one certainly
really
that
sweet.
It makes you feel good.
The officers marched to the home of 98-year-old Pearl Harbor survivor Ernest Thomas and honored him by singing the famous Navy song Anchors Away. Thompson recently had to end his regular visits to the Naval Yard due to his health reasons, but since he can't travel so much, the fleet decided to come to him. The pure joy. Thompson stood in salute of his visitors and watched the performance from his porch. Now, if that doesn't get you.
Yeah, it was really a surprise, yeah. They marched up the streets here and stopped out in front and sang a bunch of Navy songs. It was quite impressive. Yeah, I enjoyed it very much.
So sweet. The video of the surprise serenade was shared by Vet's grandson on Facebook and has been viewed more than 4.5 million times.
All right. Well, now I know what you mean by the feels, huh?
There you go.
Really strong feelings in that story. Great that he did that service for America. The time this morning is 6:49 on WKYT. Stay with us now for our top stories. CBS This Morning coming up shortly.
That's right. Stay with us.
Coming up, devastation and a rising death toll. We're in one of the towns hit hardest by the Italy earthquake as rescue efforts continue. Plus, we report from Indiana after multiple tornadoes left a path of destruction. More real news coming up on CBS This Morning, next.
Good morning again, 6:52 on WKYT This Morning, and we're glad you're with us this morning as we're helping you get ready to go.
And here is Michelle Chamberlain with what's trending. Michelle?
Yeah, police say the suspect, Christopher White, killed his wife in Bath County. Judith, his wife, they found her body at her home on P Sticks Road near Owensville. Powell County deputies say they spent last night searching near the Red River Gorge for Christopher White. He was last known to be driving a 2015 Jeep Patriot with Kentucky tags 165 VPE. Police in Mount Sterling say they're investigating 12 heroin overdoses that took place in just 5 hours. The police department there posted a warning about what they suspect is a potent form of heroin. It's a trend that we're seeing across the region with 62 overdoses in Cincinnati over the past 2 days. And finally, some students at Eastern Kentucky University have started a petition to get a dorm on campus named after the gorilla Harambe. And these students are pretty serious about this. Andrea and Bill, back to you.
They are serious.
An interesting idea. All right, now here's another talker for you. Ryan Lochte could soon be going for the gold on the dance floor. The Olympian swimmer is reportedly in talks to take part in season 23 of Dancing with the Stars. The 32-year-old is still reeling from his, quote, over-exaggerated story of him and other swimmers getting robbed at gunpoint while in Rio that caused him to lose a number of endorsement deals. The entire cast of the upcoming season of Dancing with the Stars will be announced next week.
Hope Solo says she is saddened about her suspension from the women's national team. U.S. soccer officials served the star goalie a 6-month suspension for what they call unacceptable conduct at the Olympic Games in Rio. According to a statement from Sports Illustrated, Solo said she always tried to do her best for the country and for her team. Although Solo did not apologize for her previous comments, she did admit that she hasn't always said the right things. Solo is accused of calling Sweden's team, quote, a bunch of cowards during the Olympics.
The Madison County Rescue Squad has a new truck this morning thanks to some help from people in the community. Last year, the rescue squad lost one of their trucks in a flood. Through insurance claims and door-to-door fundraising, squad members received enough money to buy a new truck and some new equipment. They say the new truck cost about $60,000, but it wouldn't have been possible with the help from the area. So that's nice of them to do that for them.
Folks stepping up.
Dozens of people showed their support for a Lexington man who is fighting for his life.
Aaron Jackson is battling leukemia at the Markey Cancer Center at UK. Well, last night, many of his friends stood outside of the building holding signs and cheering for Aaron. Friends say they wanted to do something to show him that they are thinking of him. And after organizing the event on Facebook, they say several people wanted to help lift Aaron's spirits.
Yeah, I mean, we put this together in 2 days. If that tells you how many people showed up in 2 days, we put this together of him coming out and, you know, deciding to do this. He's an amazing guy. He pressed himself on everybody. He's a friend to everybody, and people drop anything to come help him out.
Listen to those cheers. Friends say that Aaron will likely be moved to a different hospital soon so the doctors can try a different treatment to help him battle his cancer. But does he ever have a team behind him, as you can see right there?
Good to start with good moves in the morning.
It certainly is.
Let's check in with Micah for a final look at your weather.
Yeah, and it looks pretty good outside early this morning. We have a few clouds here and there, but all in all, it's a great start to the day. 75 there in Frankfort. The roadways look pretty good. London, Corbin, I'm not seeing anything on 75. As you work your way down south into Laurel County, Jackson looks fantastic. Off toward eastern Kentucky, Phil Page on Twitter sent me a picture, little valley fog there in eastern Kentucky. So just keep it in mind. You guys are used to that by now. 72 right now in Breathitt County. Now we get into the afternoon and we'll be roughly 90 degrees. It's going to be hot. It will be humid. And we'll have that really the next 7 days. It's not going to change that much. We are back in that summertime pattern. I told you guys, Monday and Tuesday, you better take advantage of that fall-like weather, that shot of cooler air, because here comes some more summer. We're going to have that all the way through the week.
It'll be back. All right.
It will be back.
Enjoy a few days off, will you?
Yeah, that would be
All right.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually off tomorrow morning and into next week. So.
All right. Well, happy birthday as well.
Thank you very much.
There, I said it, right? Nobody's more up to date than you to start your day. Thank you for being with us on WKYT.
The CBS Morning News is next. Thanks for being with us.